All right, James. So here we go, my man. I think you, just like I mentioned right before we started this recording, I think you've really come a long way since we started. And I know there's a lot of other people out there that were once in a, or are currently in a place that you were once in. And so I hope that this really resonates with them. And so I just have a couple questions for you. And so really the first one is, what were you struggling with before we met?
Struggle before we met, probably consistency. Y- Kind of had an idea of, wanted to lose weight, especially with the pandemic and having to kind of been stuck in the house. I gained quite a bit of weight, so I knew I needed to change something, but I wasn't disciplined enough to do it on my own. Um, and so I think I needed something that just kind of helped push me and kept me honest, kept me consistent. Because I would maybe do something for a day and then the next day would be gone. So consistency and kind of making sure that that I had some plan to follow. It's probably the biggest thing I was
What
changing.
were some of the things that we implemented for you?
Some of the things that we implemented, setting up a routine, and I think that kind of knowing what your routine should be to optimize kind of losing weight or whatever your goal is, losing weight, um, changing the types of foods that I was eating, um, and kind of setting it in towards more of a like what you're going to eat the day before. Um, really sets you up for success. I think kind of like, "Oh, I'm gonna wake up and I know I'm trying to adhere to a diet. I'm just gonna eat stuff as I find them in the fridge." That never worked. Even though you might go out and shop, and buy stuff like a salads or something like that. By the time you open the fridge, you're hungry. You're like, I don't really want that. So kind of setting up a routine, a schedule. So now I know what I'm gonna eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it may change from day to day, but I kind of have an idea going into the day, and I know that I have all the supplies that I need. So that's kind of been a game changer for me in terms of um, success. I no longer like, oh, I think I'm going to have a salad, but I don't have this, I don't have that. So I'm just going to end up eating this hamburger that's over here.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so that's been huge. And one of the things that I found is that I'm this program, although I'm losing weight, never never gone like hungry. Sometimes I have cravings and those kind of suck, but you can compromise. You've always been like, okay, you can compromise one day a week, and that's cool. Um, if you stick to your guns and you really do what you're supposed to do, the outcome is what you expect. So the routine helps really.
Having that flexible dieting approach to where you can eat whatever you want and you're not stuck to that boring, strict, bland food regimen, that seems to have helped you stay more consistent, right? Do you feel like you would have maybe fallen off a little bit easier, or would it have been a more difficult journey had you have been on a more strict diet?
You definitely would have been. It definitely helped. Definitely would have been a more strict diet. I've done keto, and it worked great for a month, and then it didn't because I
You wanted
can't.
carbs?
Um, so I've done. I've tried the intermittent fasting. That didn't work. I've tried the one had prior to this that had worked the most was a no carb diet. Um, just limit the carbs. Um, that worked great for 3 months, but then at some point, you kind of get back to it. You're like, "Okay, I just wanna have a little bit of this, a little bit of that." Whatever it is that, like for me, I like a little bit of chips or, rice or potatoes with my dinner, a sandwich, even sandwich bread on a sandwich. So then the no carb diet worked for 3 months, but then it quickly put them on and more, once
Added
Once I
carbs
re
back in.
yeah, added them back in. So this one is more of a to me so far, you've been doing it for what, 3 months now?
You're
Um,
just finishing your 16th week right now. This is 4 months.
4
Yeah.
months. Yeah, so, this one, I is there's nothing like, "Oh, I wish." I mean, sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I wish I could have a slice of pie." But I could have a slice of pie, like you said. I just gotta know that if I'm gonna do it, I I gotta sacrifice up front. So there's nothing really that's off menu, and that kind of helps.
Mm.
Uh, you have to, you really, your success is up to you, and you're not limited by what you can eat. So
What were
that's
the results? What were the results from the last 16 weeks? What did you accomplish?
I lost 20 pounds, so that's been huge. It's always great to hear my wife go, "Oh man, you look good today."
Mm.
I can really see it. So she sees it. So that's, besides losing 20 pounds, I think I'm able to sleep better. We've talked about sleep being one of my hugest problems coming into this. You've helped creating routines for that, and kind of some strategies. One, being more healthy just kind of helps, but two, there's some strategies of just like a healthier lifestyle. So it's more than just losing weight. I feel healthier. I feel stronger through the workout programs that we've done. I feel more knowledgeable in terms of like, how do I, what should my approach be to be have a healthier lifestyle. So just all around, I feel better.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
been phenomenal.
What would you say to somebody who's sitting on the fence right now? Like, what would you say to somebody who's unsure of taking a risk, maybe whether they know me or don't know me? What would you say to somebody who's maybe wanting to, but they're resisting for some reason or they're fearful? What would you say to someone sitting on the fence?
I would say, like, if I was me on the other side 4 months ago, I'm like, I would say, first of all, you have to want it. Don't do it because somebody else wants it for you. You gotta have to want it because it's not easy. Um, it's not gonna be your hardest program ever. It's just, you gotta commit to it. And it's a little bit time consuming at first, but it becomes a routine. Um, so if you really, like, you need to make a change because of your health is just isn't good, you're not where you're at, or you just want to, you know look better physically, you just want to feel better physically. um, it works, and it definitely works. You put in the time. It's not the hardest program out there. I've definitely tried other harder programs and failed at them. It is more of a, how can we do a healthy lifestyle, something that's maintainable, and if you're willing to put the effort, it works. It's definitely gives you knowledge. It gives you um, a structure, and so it's just a matter of wanting to put in the time and making sure that that's something that you want to do.
Mm. Mm. Awesome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you sharing all that with me and everybody watching. I really hope that this resonates with somebody who is maybe a little hesitant to want to take the risk, want to take that jump.